There are two steps to adding a quiz. The first is to set the quiz body. These settings determine what the students see and how they interact with the quiz. The second step is to create the question pools. The pools contain various types of questions, such as multiple choice, true, false or matching, for example, and the questions themselves can be shared between courses and reused again and again. To add a quiz, turn Editing on, and from the Add an Activity menu, select Quiz. Give your quiz a name and write an introduction. You may want to include the scoring rules or the number of attempts allowed. Now let's take a look at the many options you have for customising your quiz. We'll go through each of these in turn, but if you would rather accept the default settings and return later to edit this page, fast forward to step 2 now. Let's start by setting the opening and closing dates for the quiz, using the drop-down menus. You can also set a time limit in which your students must complete all questions, and at the end, any unattempted questions will be scored as 0. If you're going to allow your students multiple attempts, you also have the option of forcing a time delay between them. This is one of a number of anti-cheating measures that Moodle offers. The enforced delay aims to prevent students from simply guessing and memorising the correct answers. Similarly, the shuffle options will randomly order quiz questions or parts of questions to avert students from copying the answers on their neighbour's screen. If the aim of your quiz is formative, you can allow your students an unlimited number of attempts or any number up to 10. During multiple attempts, if you decide to let each attempt build on the last, students will be able to view their most recent responses. In adaptive mode, an additional Submit button is shown for each question. Students can attempt each question in turn and gain immediate feedback. Following any incorrect answers, they'll be allowed to try again straight away, but a penalty will be applied to their final score. The penalty is set here under grading. For summative assessment, broadly speaking, you could allow your students only one attempt and turn off adaptive and building modes. Finally, you can set the grading options. If you allow multiple attempts, you can choose which score is recorded from the highest or average grade, or the grade from the first or final attempt. Moodle will automatically grade all types of question except essay questions. These must be graded manually as there is currently no keyword facility. If you do include this type of question in your quiz, you may wish to turn off the review options, since students will score a mark of 0 until you have completed grading. As mentioned earlier, there are several measures you can put in place to discourage cheating during your quizzes. Showing your quiz in a secure window will open a new window without the forward and back buttons, address bar or other navigational features. This will make it more difficult for students to navigate to other sites for help. You can administer passwords to restrict who takes the quiz and when, and you can also restrict access to the test by IP address. We've nearly finished creating the body of our quiz. The final decisions you have to make is whether to set the quiz as a group activity and whether to make the link to the quiz immediately visible on your course page. The overall feedback section is where you can set the grade boundaries, which will usually correspond to the university classing system. Now you're ready to save and display and begin adding questions to your quiz. After setting up the quiz body, you'll be taken to the Editing Quiz page where you can create and categorise questions and add them to the quiz. On the right-hand side of the screen is a block displaying the categorised questions. On the left, the questions that have been added to the current quiz. It's a good idea to take time to create detailed categories. You can keep building question pools to use again and again, and it's also easier to group questions later than it is to split them apart. To add a new category, click on Categories, and just as you would manage folders in the Files area, select from the drop-down box where you would like your new category to sit. Name the new category and provide a short description. Click Add Category and your new category will appear in the list of current categories below. Continue adding categories until you are ready to start creating the questions. Click on Quiz and you'll be taken to the Editing Quiz page. From the Create a New Question menu, select a question type. We'll add a simple true or false statement. Give the question a descriptive name so you can track it later, and enter the question text into the editing box. Decide on the grade value appropriate to the question type. Since students only have to answer true or false, we'll leave this set at 1. Now you need to tell Moodle the correct answer and the feedback to be displayed after grading. When you have completed the setup, click on Save Changes. You can see that your question has now been added to the question bank. To add a question to the quiz, you can either click on the Add to Quiz double arrow icon, or you can check the box and click on the Add to Quiz button. If you accidentally select the same question twice, Moodle will recognise this and only add one to the quiz itself. You also have the options of previewing, editing, deleting, or moving the question to another category. To move this question into the category we created earlier, check the box, select the category Moodle Knowledge from the drop-down menu, and then click the Move To button. Once you have added all the questions to your quiz, you can check that it behaves as you want it to by clicking on the Preview tab and taking the test yourself. Let's see the quiz from the student view. The student clicks on the quiz link and then simply follows the instructions on screen. Once they have submitted their answers, provided you have enabled feedback in the quiz settings, the student will see a summary of their performance. Lecturers can shortcut to all their student grades by clicking on the grade link in the administration block.